So the Egyptian underworld is called the Duat, which was very much like upperworld Egypt in terms of having a river running through it with islands and mountains and dark depths, and it was sort of treacherous for dead people to navigate. But the place one ultimately wants to get to in the Egyptian afterlife is Aru, the place of reeds. This is the afterlife for welcome spirits. But that doesn't happen automatically. According to the ancient Egyptians, after death, the soul splits into multiple parts. One part's called the Ka, which is like one's vital essence, which lives on and can inhabit images of a person in the world, like statues and pictures, if the body's properly preserved. There's also the Ba, which might be seen as each person's unique personality, and it's represented like a winged spirit that can transcend the physical and the spiritual worlds. There's also the Ak, which is like a union of the Ka and the Ba into an intellectual entity, and it might be seen as the closest thing to the idea of one's soul, the one that lives on and can affect things in both the physical and the spiritual worlds. To have these afterlife experiences, first one's Ib needs to be judged. Now, the Ib is seen as one's heart, which holds the sum of all of one's deeds during life. And as the deceased person travels down the river of the Duat towards the Hall of Judgment, where Osiris, the ruler of the afterlife, sits on his throne, 42 gods accuse the dead person of various things, which that person should accept or deny. Then, when the hall is reached, the Ib of that person would be weighed by Anubis, the jackal-headed god. Now, Anubis at one point was the ruler of the underworld, but by the time that Horus worship was the dominant belief system, he's more of an administrative god under Osiris. Anyway, if the dead person's Ib weighs lighter than a special feather called the Shut, which was likely an ostrich feather, put over the symbol of the goddess Ma'at or Mayet, then that person would be allowed to continue on into the afterlife. But if the heart was heavier than the feather, then that person would be fed to a monster named Amut or Amit, with her crocodile head and lion body and hippopotamus behind, and then that person would be gone forever.